The Memphis Grizzlies point guard, Temetrius Jamel Ja Morant, has so far spent 3 seasons in the NBA. And in that short period, he has become the face of the franchise. His athleticism and explosive style of play have seen him earn comparisons to veteran point guards like Russell Westbrook and John Wall since his rookie year. However, as the Memphis Star's career progressed over the past 3 years, many NBA fans and sports analysts begin to see striking similarities between him and one of the greatest what-ifs in NBA history, Derrick Rose. Is Ja Morant the next Derrick Rose? Are their skills and abilities even similar? Care to know? Stay with us to find out. Ja Morant's uncanny ability to drive into the opponent's arc regardless of size, or his ability to leave his defenders in the dust due to his fast pace, has distinguished him among today's point guards. His high-flying dunks, posters, and aerobatic finishes every night have earned him comparisons to veteran point guards such as Philadelphia 76ers legend Allen Iverson, Miami Heat legend Dwayne Wade, and Los Angeles Lakers Russell Westbrook. The 6'3" point guard led the league in points in the paint per game, 16.6 in the 2021-2022 regular season, ahead of big men like Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. To put this feat in context, no guard has ever averaged more than 15 points in the paint per game in the last 25 years, and only 15 players since the NBA began logging play-by-play data in 1996-97 have averaged more than 14 points in the paint per game. By playing 57 games out of a possible 82 in the regular season, Ja Morant has the 6th highest usage rate, 33%, trailing notable stars like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, and DeMar DeRozan. Ja was so impressive in his 3rd season that Lakers legend Shaquille O'Neal called the 22-year-old guard one of the best in the game, comparing him to Hall of Famer guards like Kobe Bryant and Penny Hardaway. "I'm not playing with you, brother. You're the best for real. I promise you're the best," Shaq said. Shaq, however, wasn't the only one recognizing Ja's talent last season. Los Angeles Clippers small forward Paul George was amazed by Ja's improvement so far in his 3rd year in the league when the Memphis Grizzlies faced off against the Clippers. Ja finished the game with 28 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds, and 17 of his 28 points came in the 3rd quarter. He blew past the Clippers' defense with ease. His athleticism was a problem all night, and after the game, he was so confident that he said, "I feel like it's tougher for our defense to guard me. I can knock down the 3, knock down the mid-range pull-up, get to my floater, or get all the way to the rack." Paul George was not offended by his boast, and he even admitted that guarding him all night was difficult, praising his explosiveness and drive. It was just how quick and his ability to change direction, move his body in air. He made it tough for us. He put a lot of pressure on us. He's explosive. You know the direction he wants to go. He wants to go left, we knew that, but he's just so good and so fast, he still gets to it, Paul George said. He even went so far to compare him to NBA's youngest MVP, Derrick Rose. "He's just explosive, electrifying. I'd compare him to like D-Rose. I guarded him in my rookie year, Indy Chicago, and guarding Ja is very similar to how D-Rose was." The comparison at the time ignited divided opinions among many NBA fans. This is given that Rose became the league's MVP in his 3rd season in the league at the age of 22, where Ja, at the same age, and also in his 3rd season, has won the 2022 Most Improved Player Award, which is not comparable to the MVP award. Leaving aside the MVP award, the comparison isn't far-fetched given the way they were brought up, their style of play, and the way they lead their respective franchises at the age of 22. Let's take a look at their paths to the NBA. Derrick Rose was raised in Southside Chicago and has always credited his 3 brothers with introducing him to basketball. Rose averaged 18.5 points, 6.6 assists, 4.7 rebounds, and 2.1 steals per game as a freshman in high school, leading both the freshmen and sophomores to city championships with a 24-1 record. He led them to a 30-5 record in his 2nd year, averaging 19.8 points, 3.8 assists, 5.1 rebounds, and 2.4 steals per game. He was ranked as the 5th best prospect in the United States of America by Sports Illustrated in his 1st year as a senior, and he led his high school team to another state championship for the 2nd time in 2 years, after leading them to a state championship in his final year as a junior. D. Rose was later recruited by the University of Memphis, where he averaged 14.9 points, 4.7 assists, and 4.5 rebounds per game, while leading the team to a 38-2 record and a spot at the NCAA championship. He would later forego the rest of his final 3 seasons of college and declare for the NBA draft, where he was the 1st overall pick by the Chicago Bulls in the 2008 NBA draft. Ja Morant, on the other hand, had a difficult road to the NBA. His father, a former semi-professional basketball player, introduced him to the game. He has always credited his development to his father, a former teammate of Ray Allen, and has even referred to him as his first trainer, harshest critic, and first hater. In his final 2 years of high school, Ja averaged 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. He graduated as the all-time leading scorer for the high school basketball team with 1,679 points and was a 3-time All-Region Most Valuable Player. Despite his impressive high school stats, he was not ranked by any recruiting service and was only discovered accidentally by Murray State, where he later played college basketball. A month after making his Murray State debut, Ja had already recorded the second triple-double in the college's history and the most assists by a Murray State basketballer in their arena. He was also the 7th freshman in the last 25 years to record 150 assists, 150 rebounds, and 10 blocks while shooting at least 42% from the field. Ja became the first Murray State basketballer to ever record multiple triple-doubles in his sophomore year and 46th Murray State player with 1,000 career points, and the first NCAA Division I men's player in 20 years to record at least 40 points, 10 assists, and 5 steals in a single game. He also became the first NCAA player to ever average at least 20 points and 10 assists per game in a single season, and the 8th player in NCAA tournament history to officially record a triple-double. In his sophomore season at Murray State, he averaged 24.5 points, 5.7 rebounds, 10 assists, and 1.8 steals per game. Following the 2019 NCAA men's basketball tournament, he decided to forego his final 2 seasons of college and declare for the NBA draft, where he was drafted 2nd overall by the Memphis Grizzlies. Taking a look at both players in their first year in the NBA, they both won the NBA Rookie of the Year award and were named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team. D. Rose averaged 16.8 points on 47.5% shooting and 3.9 rebounds per game in his rookie season. During the regular season, he also led all rookies in assists per game, 6.3. In his first season, he also made his playoff debut, averaging 19.7 points on 47.5% shooting, 6.3 assists, and 4.9 rebounds per game in the series against the Boston Celtics. In the first game of the series, he tied legendary Los Angeles Lakers Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most points scored by a rookie in his first playoff debut, scoring 36 points. Ja Morant, on the other hand, averaged 17.8 points, 47.7% shooting, and 3.9 rebounds per game. He had the most points scored by a rookie in the 2019-2020 season, 1,138, and led the rookies in assists per game. He, however, failed to make the playoffs in his first season as the Memphis Grizzlies finished 9th in the Western Conference. Ja, however, made his playoff debut in his sophomore year after leading Memphis to an overtime win over the Golden State Warriors to secure the Grizzlies' first playoff season in 4 years after recording 35 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Over the course of the playoff series against the Utah Jazz, he averaged 30.2 points on 48.7% shooting, 8.2 assists, and 4.8 rebounds per game. He also averaged 19.1 points on 44.9% shooting, 7.4 assists, and 4 rebounds per game during the 2020-21 regular season. D. Rose, on the flip side, earned his first All-Star selection in his sophomore year after averaging 20.8 points on 48.9% shooting, 6 assists, and 3.5 rebounds per game in the regular season. He then recorded 26.8 points on 45.6% shooting, 7.2 assists, and 3.4 rebounds per game in his second year in the playoffs. Now, comparing Derrick Rose's MVP season to Ja Morant's third year, the comparison isn't uncommon. Derrick Rose averaged 25 points on 44.5% shooting, 7.7 assists, and 4.1 rebounds per game during the regular season, while Ja averaged 27.4 points on 49.3% shooting, 7.4 assists, and 4 rebounds per game. Ja's stats are obviously better than those of D. Rose. D. Rose's elite athletic display, his incredible display and ability to score with ease were a trademark that made him one of the best guards of his generation before his injury. D. Rose was a clutch shotmaker who could score at will during his MVP season. He was unstoppable at the rim despite being only 6'2". In his prime, his ability to change direction and speed while attacking was unrivaled. Despite this, Ja Morant is proving to be just as good as D. Rose, and he has even been endorsed to be a future MVP by 2001 NBA MVP Allen Iverson. Ja's drive and electric performance are reminiscent of D. Rose in his prime. His ability to change at the opponent's rim regardless of how tall the opponent's rim protector is entertaining to watch. Also, given his impressive third year, Ja was named the 2021-22 Most Improved Player, ahead of DeJounte Murray and Darius Garland after receiving 221 points and 38 first-place votes. Rose. However, Ja's Most Improved Player award compared to D. Rose's MVP award at the age of 20 may just be the deciding factor on who was better. Nonetheless, he has shown that he is capable of becoming this generation's Derrick Martell Rose. NBA analyst Colin Cowherd also agreed that Ja might be the next D. Rose, but not in the way we might expect. He is concerned that due to Ja's athleticism every night, he may end up as an injured D. Rose. The analyst cautioned that he is pessimistic about the athletic guards who have incredible pace, long-term chances. This is Ja Morant stuff. I know he's great, but I want to remind you, fans and the media have fallen for this 5 times in the last 12 years. It's called John Wall, it's called Russell Westbrook, it's called Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was every bit Ja Morant. He literally took over social media, he took over cable TV. I'm very skeptical about the long-term championship odds for springy, athletic guards that drive and score. These little guys that knock your socks off and drive to the basket are not great shooters, do not last, Colin Cowherd said. However, we will be hoping that Ja Morant ends up being like D. Rose in terms of ability and dominance rather than injury. Do you believe Ja will ever reach Derrick Rose's peak? Do you believe Ja Morant can win an MVP award in his prime? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Enjoyed this video? Now hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any exciting NBA scoop. Thanks for watching.